Day 16. I'm honored that so many people watch my videos. They spread like wildfire. It's kind of weird, kind of neat, kind of crazy. People from California has been messaging me, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Canada, Turkey, all over the United States, about every state. I'm glad I can reach out and shine a light on this disease for so many people. It makes me feel good to know that they're actually watching, and maybe they'll get a little, little help off these videos. I've talked to a few people about, you know, parents losing children to addiction, children losing parents to the addiction. Myself, I've experienced this disease from both sides. I've lost family members to alcoholism and addiction. I've lost good friends to it. Uh, I wish that, you know, someone would have stepped up a long time ago and done something like this for them. I don't, they may have. I'm not sure. I'm sure that there's been people that tried to help them, but I wish someone would have shoved something like this in my face and made me watch it. Said, "Look, you're getting ready to go down this guy's road too. You're gonna end up the same way if you don't get help." Well, people, I don't want anybody to go down this road. Nobody. It's bad. I've suffered from this addiction a long time. This disease has almost taken me out. It has been the roughest thing I've ever been through in my life. I lost my mother in January, and I coped with her death from abusing prescription medication. Came close to going with her. Came very close to going with her. My father come in and found me laying in front of the refrigerator. Took a handful of nerve medicine, Xanax. That's an evil drug. And when you come off that, after so long, you'll hallucinate, you'll talk to people, you'll have voices in your head, and it will drive you insane. But I turned real hard toward drugs when my mother passed away. She was a big part of my life. She had suffered from that, from pleurisy and COPD for 8 years, progressively getting worse, and I helped take care of her, and didn't think I could cope with it without dope. I wished things would have been different. I wished I would have been different. I wished I could have made my mother proud while she was alive, and rather than have her looking down from heaven. But I know she's proud of me now for trying to help, and I'm straightening my life up and getting back on the right foot. Done the same thing when when my grandmother passed away. She had a bout with lung cancer twice, and I cared for her full time, lived with her, and turned hard toward addiction again. Didn't think I could do it without drugs. It was a 24/7 job too. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, is sit back and watch, your loved ones just wilt away like a flower. It hurts you, and it really changes the way you think and the decisions you make. Well, it did mine. From my perspective, from the other side of this disease, looking at me through someone else's eyes, I would be so ashamed to call me their friend. I wouldn't want to hang around with somebody that walked around coyote-eyed all the time, high on drugs, and done just whatever to get high, and that's all they thought about, and was skin and bones, looked like death. You know, I don't want to be around people like that. I was a bad person. I turned into a bad person. People from high school knows, you know, I was a good guy. I was, you know, kind of popular, talked to everyone, never made a difference. But as I got older and was against drugs for a while, I treated them like outcasts. Didn't help them. You know, if I seen them on the road wanting to ride, I'd whiz right on by. I wouldn't help them for nothing in this world, because you know my family put it in my head that it was the worst thing out there was drug addiction. You know, you don't want to be a druggie. Well, you really don't want to be a druggie, guys. You don't. I have learned from my experiences, learned from my mistakes, from my wrong decisions, that there's not one thing that you're going to gain from the addiction except the knowledge that you are screwing up. And besides, you know, instead of you going down that road and learning from your own mistakes and things, that's the reason I'm making these videos. That way you can learn from my mistakes, because you're going to go down the same exact path. You may never get put in jail just because you was the lucky one and did not get caught. Most of us get caught. Most of us go to jail and spend a few years. But I'm making these videos so you can learn before it's too late, before you make the wrong decision, before you get addicted as bad as I was. And you can turn your life around for you and your family. For you mostly, because, you know, you're the one going to suffer through the addiction, through the disease. You're the one going to put your life on the line for getting high. But it also hurts your family. It's you know, my father's had 4 heart attacks. He's got 4 stents in his heart. My mother was an ill woman, and all I done was rub salt in the wound. I never made anything better. I'd go see them in the hospital, but I'd have to be high. I'd do things from around the house, but I'd have to be high. I'm just so tired of doing people wrong. I want to make everything better. I want to help as many as I can along the way. I can't say it enough that from the bottom of my heart, everybody that I've ever heard, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I am humble now. I love all of my friends and family, and I would do anything for them. And I would do anything to make up lost time with my little girl, whom is the most beautiful little girl in the world. If you've got on my Facebook, you can tell she is a baby doll. She don't get it from me. But that child has touched my heart, and she has held on to me. Even though that I've done her so wrong, she has held on to me. She's still the most loving little thing in the world. And that's hard, people. It's hard to know that you've done your own child that way. But I'm trying to make up for lost time. And she is my everything. She's my little earthly angel. If you guys have got any suggestions on what you would like to hear, or anything you would want me to touch on, I'd be more than glad to do it for you. You know, if you know someone that needs to hear specific about the addiction, let me know. It'll be on these videos. I'll make one for you. But until tomorrow, guys, I love you.